Hey, welcome. Well, since you're here, let me explain who I am, in case you don't know. Maybe if you do know me, you might learn something new about me that you didn't know before. I'm Rob Z. Rob Wentz is my real name. I just have a stage name, I guess, or a personality name, because I've been in broadcasting for over 20 years, been in radio for over 20 years. A lot of my life, I started back when I was 15 years old in radio, and a lot of my life was spent just doing radio shows. But about mid-2017, I jumped out of radio and started doing digital marketing. I started doing social media marketing for myself and for other companies, businesses, and brands, okay? And I see this as, I guess I had an awakening. Around 31 years old, I had my son Max, and things started to change. I wanted my life to be different. I wanted my purpose to be different. I wanted to leave a mark here on earth and have something for my son to grow up and see, like, wow, look what dad did. Look at something that you can achieve, something you can strive towards, not just in business, not just in being wealthy or something like that, but being whole as a person. Maybe wealth as far as like satisfaction and happiness and grace in your life, but also have some of the material stuff, also have some of the money, but not making that the main focus. That's more of an outcome. And over the past several years, it's just been a really fun, stressful, confusing yet exciting and illuminating journey. I've learned a lot about myself and where my direction is heading. So I want to talk to you about that in just a second. But as I'm saying this right now, I also jumped back into radio a little while ago on my own terms. So I have a syndicated radio show that I do here from my office where I'm recording this video right now. And I can broadcast anywhere in the world. I have a podcast that I've been hosting for 4.5 years called Rob Z Radio. You can find it on any podcast app. So let me just break this down for you real quick. You know, there is the Rob Z Show, which is my radio show. It's the Rob Z Show. So that's 20 plus years of broadcasting experience has brought me to this show that I've been doing for a long time now, right? Then there's the podcast, which is Rob Z Radio, okay. I have Rob Z Radio, the podcast, over 400 episodes. I don't like this light. It's like casting a weird thing on this camera. Can we just move this? As you can tell, I enjoy videos that aren't exactly fully produced. It's more off the cuff. If that looks terrible, does that look bad? Oh, right here. We'll figure this out. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. Here's a part of my journey, is figuring things out and making things not feel super professional. I actually thoroughly enjoy that. There. That's a little bit better. There's even more lights on the shot now. Screw it. Who cares? Okay, so Rob Z Show, Rob Z Radio. Right now I also host seminars. I do a lot of seminars on social media. That's a big part of what I do. Now that you're here on my website, you can see over to the side here, it's either over here or over here, the live events section. So you'll see live events. You can click on any live event, find out where I'm doing live events. My partner and I, Kyle, have something called LIT, which is Leadership, Impact, and Technology. And we're hosting a big conference, actually. We're going to be hosting conferences, and we're going to try to do these every 6 months or every year throughout our area in Pennsylvania, and then throughout the United States. We're going to take it everywhere. But the LIT conferences really are going to be leadership conferences. I love when people pump me up, when people get me excited. I love going to conferences and having people get me excited about something. I want to offer that to the world as well. So that's another piece of what I do. And on top of all this, there's just, digital marketing. So digital marketing is something that I do because I love helping people, and I see digital social media as the easiest way to market your product. You can track it. You can see the results. You can design it yourself. All the other forms of marketing throughout history, whether it was television, radio, billboards, newspapers, whatever that is, it was kind of like you gave your information to somebody and they kind of handled it for you. And you didn't have a whole lot of hands-on experience with it. Social media changes all that. You can have full hands-on as deeply as you want to go with it. And I think that is the real power of the world we're living in right now. Transparency is huge. Transparency is everywhere. Everything that you're a part of is becoming more transparent as time goes on. And if you're dishonest, that's not a good thing. But if you're honest, it's a really good thing. Okay, so as I lay all this out here for you, and I hope this is giving you an idea of who I am as a person. I understand I grew up very selfish. I grew up thinking about myself a lot, and I've really taken the time over the past couple of years to divert that to being somebody who offers, gives value, and serves others. So I'm a big fan of mentors, and I'm a big fan of studying really powerful people who have done amazing things in this world, whether it's locally or it's internationally or whatever that might be. Just casting like weird shadows on my eyes. I can't be concerned about that right now. Let's just make the video. Some people that I really look up to are like Tony Robbins. These are people that I study and I've learned a lot from. Tony Robbins. Tai Lopez is another one. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. Take out all of the adultery stuff and just the vision and passion that guy has for life. And I put him near the top of that list. Okay. Another one, I really like Ed Milet. I think he's a great one too. These are gonna, you notice these are gonna be mostly guys because I'm a guy, so I watch and listen to a lot of other guys. Joe Rogan is another one. Now I'll put Oprah on here. My wife loves Oprah, and I really enjoy Oprah as well. I'll also put on here, if you've never heard, I want to put these on here, so maybe these are some names you've never heard of that you want to check out, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza, okay? That's Joe Dispenza. He's one of my favorites. Amazing, amazing stuff from him. Michael Singer is another great one. These are people that I don't personally know, but I really learned a ton from, that you might be able to learn from too. Who else would be on this list? I think that's a pretty good list for right now of people. Billy Jean's another incredible marketer that I've learned a lot from. Obviously, Dale Carnegie is another one. So if you're watching this, maybe you've never heard of some of these names, or maybe you have heard of them and you want to dive in deeper into what they're all about, I would highly suggest studying these people and what they do, because they're incredible human beings who are impacting the world, okay? So these people that I've studied from, that I really look up to, I could also put like Jimmy Fallon on this list. There's many more names I could put on this list. I'm not going to do all of that right now, okay? But what I am going to do is give you an overall idea of what my mission is. There's this idea I have, this creation. It's called creating superheroes, okay? So creating superheroes is a concept that I came up with because I wanted to find a superpower within myself, and once I tapped into it, it opened up the floodgates of what I could do and what I could accomplish. And I want to have that be the same thing for you. Unlock something. Maybe you already have unlocked it, but if you haven't unlocked it yet, you got to unlock something within you that is a superpower, right? And what do I mean by this? When you're creating superheroes, you're looking for your unique superpower or superpowers. So your unique superpowers. Hopefully this isn't yeah, or more than one, right? So it doesn't have to be just a superpower. It can be powers. There's multiple things that you are uniquely good at. When you figure these out, okay? And what does that mean? What does a superpower mean? What does that, how do you define that? Well, the way I define it is like this. The superpower is, number one, something naturally good at. It's something that like you're just naturally acclimated towards. Like you don't really have to try that hard to be good at that thing. Number two in that list would be it gives you energy. So there's some things that you're good at that drain you. There's some things you're good at that give you energy. For example, I feel like I'm fairly good at marketing. I understand Facebook ads and stuff like that pretty well. I know how to do that, but staring at a computer screen all day and doing that drains me to an incredible extent. Now making video content like this gives me energy. I could do this all day long. It's fun for me. It's exciting, and I get a lot of joy out of it. So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you're naturally good at it. There's lots of things you might be naturally good at, and a lot of those things might drain your energy, but some of them give you energy. Those are the ones you want to go after. That's how you define that superpower. And that thing offers value to the world. And you could also just say serves others. So you're serving a greater cause than yourself with this superpower. It might be something that you possess that is yours, but that thing you possess that is yours helps so many other people. That's the key. Naturally good at it. It gives you energy, but it also offers value to the world, serves others. That's the key. When you figure out what that thing is, you found a superpower, okay? Now, I want to tell you, if you want to understand more about this and where I'm coming from with it, here's where I'm coming from with it, is that there's a process. I figured the process out for myself. You can figure the process out for yourself. I'm not going to go into deep detail on that right now, but I have 2 podcasts you can listen to help you understand that. If you go to my podcast, which is Rob Z Radio, any podcast app, Rob Z Radio on any podcast app, episodes 400 and 401, I repurposed my entire podcast around this idea just recently. Episodes 400, 401. So 400, let me make those bigger. I know you're watching this right now, you can hear me talk, but I want to really make them bigger so that I drive the point home of the importance of these episodes in my life. And, you know, if you jump on board with what I'm saying, it can be really important for your life as well. Episode 400, episode 401. This one will explain my journey. This one will explain how you can find it for your journey, how I found what I found in myself, and how you can find the same thing within yourself using the method that I came across, okay? So Rob Z Radio, the podcast, episode 400, 401. If you go check those out, you're going to understand where I'm coming from with this creating superheroes concept. And this will be the last part here. I really appreciate you watching this video. Let me just help you to understand. I want to serve you in some way, shape, or form. My goal is to offer you some value with this video and with anything that I do. Hopefully anything that I do that I'm putting out there that you can consume is going to give you value, whether it makes you smile, whether it brings some joy to your day, whether it informs you, educates you, transforms you, adds something. Always think about how you're adding to somebody else and not taking away from them, okay? I think that's one of the biggest pieces of everything, is adding something to somebody else's life, okay? So I'm going to show you my arc of my vision, okay, that I figured out. Let me get the Hoy over here to the side. There we go. And I'll take you through my journey, okay? This is my mission. So you want to really know what's inside of my brain. You want to know where I want to go. I'm going to lay it out for you. And maybe I shouldn't even show this because it's like, it might be projecting far into the future. But this is the goal for my life. This is where I want to go. So when you work with me, when you're tied in with me, you understand where I'm coming from. It's all about serving. It's all about offering value. The first part of that is the Rob Z Show. That's my radio show. The Rob Z Show is like the cornerstone of this thing. I want to get that on as many stations as humanly possible. Hundreds, thousands of radio stations, however many exist. I'd like to be on so many stations with this, okay? Take a scale from there. You have the podcast. You have Rob Z Radio. Okay, so that's the next piece of the puzzle, is the podcast. This would be radio. Just because I've been in radio since I was 15 years old. It was something that I was passionate about when I was a kid. When I was 10 years old doing a pretend radio show in my bedroom, it was something I was super passionate about. So I want to make it a cornerstone of what I do and how I know how to interact and reach people, because I understand the radio industry. And it's one of the oldest industries when it comes to media. It's overlooked. It's forgotten about. Misused often. Undervalued often. I think it still has so much power and potential inside of it. That's where I come from, okay? This is the podcast. This is New Age, right? The podcast, Rob Z Radio. That's another big piece of my puzzle. You got radio, you got podcast. Now, let's go a step further here. So you have marketing. And one of the marketing platforms we have right now with my partner Kyle is Smarter Business. I gotta spell business right. SmarterBusinessAcademy.com. You can check that site out. Really, we've created a platform that not only helps companies and brands have better marketing, get more results, drive more revenue, get more customers for what it is that they're doing, but they're learning along the way. That's why, and it's an academy. That's an A. Academy. Oh man, I messed that up. It's an academy, whatever, you get the idea. It's an academy, not an agency. We want to educate, learn, help people grow. but also create revenue and generate stuff for ourselves and for them, and take businesses and companies and people, their knowledge to the next level. That's the real goal, okay? So Smarter Business Academy is another piece of this. Hope I don't run out of room here on my chart. I'm okay right now. Smarter Business Academy. Then there is video series, okay? So I make a lot of videos, whether you follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, which is Rob Z Radio on Instagram or Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter, which is Rob Z Yo. Follow me on YouTube, which is Rob Z Show. Okay, there's a bunch of different ways you can find me. But I want to give you an idea right now of where I'm coming from. So video series, these are online education, okay? Online education is the next billion-dollar industry. It might already be a billion-dollar industry. Online education is huge. And you got to think in life about passive income. This is my passive income opportunity. And it's also my give back, my gift to the world. I've purchased so many online courses that have changed my life, from Tai Lopez, from Billie Jean, from Aubrey Marcus, from Michael Singer, from Tony Robbins. I could name Dean Graziosi. So many online courses that I purchased that have changed my life and put me in a different spot. I want to give that back. The things that I've learned, my own unique brand of education that I want to give to the world. That's another piece of this, okay? The online video series. Take it up a little bit further. Are we still in room? Yeah, we still got room. Seminars. These seminars are on, right now, mainly I teach seminars on podcasting. I teach seminars on social media. I want to make those leadership seminars as time goes on. Spirituality seminars, taking people to new levels in their life through what I've learned, and bringing people that I've learned from. It's a big piece of that. Seminars into, I'm so close to running out of room. Conferences, okay? So conferences, leadership kind of stuff that brings people together. This would be LIT. This is where LIT really falls in. Leadership, impact, technology. LIT is leadership, impact, technology. Okay, that's what LIT's all about. That's one of the big things I'm excited about is growing this brand, making this brand incredible. That conference level, getting up there, bringing in high quality people who can teach you things that, you may have to take 20 years of learning and failing and relearning things and unlearning and relearning things over and over and over again to figure out. Why not bring those people into one spot where they can teach and educate and change people's lives? I love leadership conferences. I've been to 10X. I've been to so many different leadership events. Anytime I leave them, I leave there buzzing. I leave there ready to rock and roll and change the world. I want to offer that for other people as well. And up here at the top of this list, okay, as we go off the screen, this is a mastermind, okay? This is something that I'm slowly putting together right now. But the mastermind is where you take like the people you met at that conference and you take them to that mastermind and start to really put your ideas all together. Okay, so this is where we create super, whoa, here we go. Why can't I do this? This is where you create the Avengers. When you take a bunch of people who have their own unique superpowers, you all come together and you create something special. You create the Avengers. You create superheroes. So this whole thing is all built around my horrible handwriting and creating superheroes. If you, through any of these, can define your superpower, if any of these things, or all of those things, or a combination of those things, can help you define what your superpower is, what is your superpower, and we become a part of a mastermind together, now we're taking those superpowers, creating superheroes within ourselves, because when we create those superheroes within ourselves, we're creating value, we're creating servitude, service for the world, for other people. We bring ourselves all together, then we create, whether it's the Avengers or it's, Voltron. I've always been a big comic book fan, and my son loves comic books, and so I think a lot in like superhero kind of ways. So Avengers, Voltron, when you bring a bunch of people, a bunch of superpowers together to create a superhero, you bring superheroes all together, in a mastermind, right, then you're going to create this unstoppable team of people who can change the world, change each other's lives, and progress things so much faster through time, okay? So this is where we're at. You get it. This is the outline. This is the plan. This is my plan. I've never actually laid this out on video before. I've told a lot of people about it, but I've never laid it out on video. So as you're here watching it right now, understand this is my vision for my future, and I'd love to have you be a part of it. So as you scroll down through this page, or click anywhere on here, everything that I do ties into this concept of creating superheroes. I want to create that more in myself, more in you, and more for everybody in the entire world. Okay? That's my mission. This is my plan. It'd be awesome to have you be a part of it. I suggest you get a whiteboard like this and just write stuff down all the time, because it really helps to write these ideas down, to get them lodged and stuck in your head so you can't forget them. When you repeat this stuff over and over again, and the way I just told you about this, it cements it in my mind even more. Like, okay, I'm not putting this on video. I'm not putting this out there for other people to see, so I can't back out on my mission. And I want to have that same result for you, for what you want to do with your mission. You got to figure that out. So what is your mission? Questions for you to answer. If you are watching this right now and you're like, man, this is interesting, answer wherever you can. Answer these questions. You could shoot me a DM on any social media platform. You could leave me a comment if you're watching this on YouTube under the videos. Under this video, you could leave a comment. Wherever you'd want to leave that. But answer these questions for me. Answer these questions for yourself, okay? Questions for you as we finish up. I know this has been a long video, but I wanted to give you a great explanation so you understand where I'm coming from. Questions for you. What is your superpower? Or powers, okay? What is that? If you don't know what it is, go listen to episode 400 or 401. And I'm not saying I'm the end-all be-all on this. Other people know this stuff maybe better than I do. So you might want to study the names I threw up here earlier, or anybody out there that you can find. Who are your mentors? Whether they're in books, whether they're online, or preferably whether they're in person. Who are those people? I have people in my personal life that are my mentors that I haven't mentioned here. I'll mention, for me, in-person mentors, I have a couple. Ray Overdorf, a good friend of mine, is a mentor of mine. Keith Deal, who is the pastor of a church that I go to. He's a mentor of mine. Those are two that pop up right on the top of my head. But I have a lot of people that I look up to in my life. But those are two right now, personally, in my life on a day-to-day basis that I look up to. And I gain a lot from. And then there's lots of people online that I mentioned before, and lots of people in books that I mentioned before that will really impact me, and have really impacted me and changed my life. So, who are your mentors? And let's think of this third question that you can answer. I'm doing this on the fly, by the way. I didn't think of these questions beforehand, but these are the ones that are going to be important for you. Questions for you. What is your superpower? Who are your mentors? And how are you serving humanity? And the reason I'm asking you that is, with whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're in sales, whether you don't have a job, whether you do a YouTube vlog or whatever it is that you do, if you are not serving other people, you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. You might fail. You might not get where you want to go. And the more you do this, the more you serve humanity and not just yourself and your own personal ego, the higher you're going to rise, the more successful you're going to be, and the more happiness you're going to obtain. Okay? It's just a fact. I want to thank you for watching this. I think after, how long have I talked now? My eyes, what's my eye like, going cross or something? Should I look this way? Does that make my eye go cross? I don't know. But as you're watching this, like, answer these questions. And I think you have a great idea of who I am now. I feel like I've given you a very long, descriptive answer of who I am. I think you have a good idea what I'm all about. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of what I do. Answer those questions for yourself. and I'm going to hit the stop button because I'll just keep rambling. Thanks for watching. I'll probably talk to you or meet you or see you soon, and I can't wait for that to happen. Thank you.